All right, man. We're back with the one pocket champ. I guess that's how you're going to be introduced from now on. And Fedor Gorst. And actually, Fedor's internet just took a dive as soon as we go live. So I gave him the rundown of everything, everything we were going to go and discuss. And wouldn't you know it, he locked up on me. But he should be back here shortly. I'll send him to the back here in just a minute. We got a bunch of fun topics to go and discuss. Let me know in the chat if you're able to go and hear me. He just jumped out of here, so we'll get him back on and situated. It's got to be because you're in the dungeon over there where
Yeah,
the
can you hear me?
we can hear you, man. Let us know in the chat if you guys are able to go and hear us. Feder, how are you, man?
Very good, very good. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I got to tell you though, I got a little bit of a bone to pick with you because every night I would have a bunch of stuff to go and do right over the last few days, and I figured I'd come home, like after a few hours, I'd come home and then I'd be able to sit back and relax and enjoy some good one pocket. And every time when I got home, it was already over with, man. So walk us through the match. Walk us through what happened, what your experience was like, man, playing in your first real big action one pocket match.
Well, I mean, playing with Scott, I knew I had to be aggressive because he knows the game much more than I do. He has experience. He played one pocket all his life, and he knows how to outmove me. But surprisingly, I expected to balls go up table every game,
So did I.
but that didn't really happen, and I kind of took advantage of it, and I run balls better than him, and that's what happened in the match. All the balls stayed on the side where I mean, they where they stay always,
Right.
and that's how I won. I think he really should have played different against me, and send the balls up table every game and try to play really tight.
Did it kind of put you like kind of in a bit of a surprise? Because I expected that out of Scott, and I think a lot of people did also, was that as soon as maybe he kind of didn't have position, that everything's just going up table, and I didn't see a lot of it. But like, did you have any kind of game plan, or were you practicing a certain way preparing for that?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I was preparing to play tight, I was expecting to play an hour a game, kind of like this one pocket, but once I realized that he's not doing that, I tried to challenge him, and I was sending the cue ball up table and challenge him to shoot, and if he misses, I was running eight. That's what happened a couple of games when I challenged him. He was trying to shoot and missed, and I ran eight. Uh, But honestly, only one or two games out of 33 games, the balls went up table.
That's pretty remarkable because I would have bet the over by a substantial amount that it was going to be
Oh yeah,
long and drawn out. And I was pretty taken back by it because it's no secret that his his expertise or his level up on you is that he can go and move better, right? He can play the game of one pocket maybe a little bit better, but we all know you run balls better, maybe you bank the ball a little better. But what surprised me quite a bit, Feder, was you had a couple moves up your sleeve, with when the balls were around the pack, man, that we didn't see before.
really?
Yeah, man.
I just didn't show him before, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I can show, what I can't. But honestly, I feel like I played almost every other match this year. It was nothing really special there. I am playing pretty good around the stack, I feel like, but you never saw me against like a player like Scott struggling in the end game, which I wanted to honestly learn, playing a player that caliber in a long race, playing every game when the balls go up table is a really good experience. But I mean, I'm happy that I won, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Jason said it a few times that that's more of your liability is the end game or whenever balls are going to be up table. Did it kind of, because after day one it was 7-6? Were you going into day two thinking that you're going to have long days ahead of you for the next couple of days?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I thought the tighter will be the more tight he'll play because in the beginning he went up 3-0 and he was playing aggressive because of it. That's what I was thinking,
Right.
to make the gap bigger because that's how he won the first three games. But coming to day two, I was thinking he's going to play tight, which didn't happen. So,
It's kind of incredible, man. I don't want to say you killed your 10 ball action, but you kind of did kill your 10 ball action with how great you go and play a little bit, just a little bit, and then you go and show up in your first big one pocket match and you steamroll them, man. Like it may have been one thing to go and say maybe Derby was a little bit fluky, but
oh, yeah,
where would you?
100% it was.
Yeah, yeah. You went undefeated, didn't you not? If I'm not
I
mistaken.
know I lost to Darren 3-0. That's exactly what happened in my
Oh,
match with Darren. Most balls went up table, and I was screwed. I didn't know what to do.
what coaching, if any, did you get from your stake courses and the Sword Brothers?
From JDD Pool School, I mean, he's always giving me some pep talks, and we're trying to analyze every game I lose. But when all the balls go up table and I lose 3-0, you can only say like, oh, I mean, you can try and play old guys and ask them what to do. Set up in the end game and play end game by yourself. Try to play for both opponents and try to learn the shots. But it's a lot of knowledge in that game, and I still have a lot of to learn.
We got a good question in the chat from Greg. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name, but it's talking about the size of the pockets, Feder. And I think y'all were playing on what, like 4 1/4? Scott said.
Four and a quarter, yes,
Was that?
yes. Let me put my camera here.
No, yeah, you're fine. So
Oh
Feder's
shit!
coming to us live from the
I'm in
Silence
the
of the
gym.
Lambs room, there in Indiana. um,
Okay,
I know
there you go. That's way better.
I know Scott had mentioned the 4 1/4. Was that a sticking point for you and your team, or was that something that just happened to be that way at the pool room and you guys just went with it?
No, honestly, the pool room that just recently opened in Louisville, they all only have four and a quarter pockets on their 9 foot tables, so that was the only option.
Do you think maybe it would have been a different game on some tighter equipment?
On a tighter table, yeah, I mean, it will be way tougher for me, I think.
Yeah.
The tighter the table, the more moving is involved.
Did you ever get like
But
in a point in the match where the pocket size maybe came into your head at all? Because it looked like you played with a lot of confidence, man. Like the few games that I did go and watch.
well, honestly, I gained all this confidence just from the style how he played. Like I said, I expected him to play tight, and he tried to play open with me, and I felt like I can't lose. If we're playing aggressive and all the balls are in play, I'm a big favorite in that game. I feel like it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Where do you think you rank as far as top one pocket players, Sutter?
Maybe top 25.
I love it, man. I love it. So that would make Scott number 26 then, since you just beat him, right? Would
I
that
mean, I can beat him once.
you can
It
be
doesn't
it
mean
was
I beat
it
him.
was a fluke then. Let let's talk about that poll room you mentioned, Feder. They're one of your new sponsors. Talk me through how that went about and what they've been for you as far as support and um, helping you get going out there.
Yeah, so the guy who opened the pool room, his name is Kyle Ferguson, a really good guy. He was one of the first guys who I met in Louisville, New Albany area when I first came here, I think in 2016. I used to gamble with him, all these $100 sets that I played with old guys and locals here. I actually lost a couple of times to him, but so he decided to open a pool room here, and that was kind of missing in this location here because all the pool rooms they only have either bar tables or it's old or it's like a small place with a couple of tables. They
It looked real nice
didn't
in there.
really. Oh, it's really nice. It's a huge place. They have 8 9 footers and probably over 20 bar tables, and he wants to put more tables there. We are actually thinking to make a tournament before Derby City Classic next year. Have a
Be a
one
perfect
pocket tournament
location.
on a big. Yeah, yeah. It is 20 minutes from the casino from here, so the top players can come in a week before, play that tournament, and prepare for Derby.
Well,
Actually,
you know how it
Jason
is
made.
yourself, better because how important is it whenever you're going from place to place to be able to get as much bang for your buck? Meaning, like when you travel somewhere, you want to get the most opportunity to go and make money.
Well, I mean that's what I'm saying. That's perfect for
Yeah.
all the pool players because you don't have to fly or drive anywhere. That's basically the same location. You can only like change hotels if you want to stay somewhere in the casino or close by. But if you have a car, you don't really have to. You can rent an Airbnb for 2, 3 weeks.
What's the name of the pool room, Feder? Your new sponsor.
It's it's a rail yard bar, sports bar, or rail yard pool room.
I tell you what, man, the pictures look phenomenal. The stream looked great as well. Like I said, I was hoping it would have been a little bit longer, but I'm not gonna go and beat you up anymore on that. Let's talk about some more one pocket. And in the middle of that match, there was a little bit of barking. I don't know who started the barking, whether it was you or whether it was Chip.
Usually I start the barking, but
Usually you
since
do
I
well. You're not one to shy away from action. I give you credit for that, and it's nonstop. You wanna play, and you want to play for some money.
no, yes, but since I'm hurting feelings, I kind of stopped with this for a little bit. So now I'm only the guy who accepting offers most of
Well,
the time. Let's be honest, I'm still throwing them out there.
well, let's talk about Chip because Chip made no bones about it. He wants to go and play you. And when you talk about sending balls up table and long drawn out games, Chip is that guy. That's his
Oh yeah.
specialty. That's his forte. What are your thoughts and what are the likelihood of that going down?
So I mean, it's gonna be. I'm expecting the same I expected from Scott. Will be long, tiring games. I will try to learn as much as I can in that short period of time. I don't know when we're gonna play with Chip yet, but I assume it's gonna be soon enough to where I don't really have much time to learn and master the end game. So I'm gonna try my best and prepare. Get some knowledge, play more with old guys, maybe give huge spots and send all the balls up table, play
Oh,
one
so
ball at a
you're
time.
gonna be like the new dentist then, right? Just give everybody real big spots and try to outrun the nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I gave one guy in the pool room here in Louisville 20-2, and I was thinking I mean, there is no chance I can win the game, like zero chance. But somehow I won. So
Well, there's
there
your
you go,
man,
J Diddy,
Jay.
J
Yeah, I was
Diddy
gonna say,
Sport.
yeah, there's Jay Diddy in there, and I tell you, barking from your side is not to be taken for the sake of making noise. He's
I mean,
serious. I mean, with
there's
does that
it's
go and,
crazy. I'm
and make
sorry.
you nervous any at all? If let's say they go and snap call and want to go and play for that kind of amount.
It's crazy how many times Alan or Jason, offering huge bets, and I think like I'm the underdog in the game, and they're like, no,
Level
no, just play,
level with
just
me,
play.
level with me. What do you think you are in that game with Chip?
With Chip,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, playing with Scott, I was thinking I'm the underdog in the game because everybody put him in like top five, and Chip is probably the fourth top player playing one pocket. So I think I'm the underdog, but it's not going to hurt my confidence. I'm still going to try my best, and I still want to win.
Have you had any sets like what Chip can potentially put you through? Because you'll have those 2 hour plus long games with him. You'll go
Oh, I
and be
know.
playing, with one or two balls up on the table quite a bit, and he doesn't care. He'll put in. I mean, you've been known to have back problems in the past, and long sets kind of will wear you out physically. And listen, I'm 36, man. I get back problems all the time, but like, is that something that crosses your mind any at all? Whenever he goes and barks at you a little bit.
Well, it's not like I'm playing 17-year-old fresh.
That's true.
fresh
Yeah.
pool player that runs around pool and just sends the ball up tables and wins every game. Chip will be sending balls up table, and I'll be trying to play aggressive, but I'll be still patient, and I'm ready to play whatever whatever it takes to win.
Well, let's talk about another great European one. I don't want to say great European. A guy who played one pocket set decently a couple of years ago in filler. Who do you think wins between you and him playing some one pocket?
It's really close, I think. I mean,
I
he
mean,
beat Tony.
yeah, but Tony was
I'm not
fine
even.
at everything
I'm not.
though.
I'm not even trying to play Tony. I mean,
Oh, I think
I'm
it.
honest.
It's funny. I remember. The last time I had Joey on, I say I had Joey on. I mean, Joey's was on with me all the time. But the last time we were together doing a show, it was during Buffaloes, and we were talking
Yeah.
about this very topic. We were like, well, Federer's kind of, you know, uh, running out of 10 ball action, so maybe one pocket action will be on the radar. And we were thinking about players to go and play. I thought when I heard the news of Scott, I'll be honest with you, I was real surprised because I thought there was a lot of other guys you could have played before him that maybe play one like the game of one pocket better, or not better than Scott, but I mean like better than you, you know.
Yeah,
And I
but I
was
mean, who do you think that was?
maybe like a Mora type player, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Moore if he wants to play. I offered him a spot, and he still doesn't want to play.
Really, that's pretty
Yeah,
strong, man.
I mean, we're trying to bet as much as we can on every match we play. I'll be honest. Every match we play, we're trying to bet as much as we can, even if we are little underdogs, or I mean, even if it's gambling, even if we're stealing, we're trying to bet as much as we can every time. But if we're betting 5,000, that means nobody's liking the other side.
No, that's fair. That's completely fair, and I think I appreciate the honesty because that's fact. You guys make no bones about it, and it's not even from like a cocky standpoint. Listen, you play.
No, I'm not trying to be cocky. No, no.
No, 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 and it doesn't come across like that at all. And I think that's why a lot of people like you. Like you got a lot of fans, especially here in the States. You're one of the few, Europeans that American fans really appreciate, man. Well,
Yeah, I
well,
appreciate him too. It's not my country. I'm staying here a lot of time, so
what's I mean, you've been here for a while. We all know a lot of things are going on. What are your plans in the next few months, Feder? I noticed, I think it was on your post earlier that you got a new website.
yeah, I'm trying to launch it. I still need to work on a few things, but I had so many messages, asking me about pictures, balls. I mentioned that I was selling paintings, autograph paintings.
From
So
Kevin, right?
from Kevin, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Kevin.
everybody has started to message me on Instagram, email, Facebook, and when I want to write to my sister, for example, on Facebook, I need to scroll all these messages. So I decided, instead of this, it's better to create a website where they can, put the order, and I'll only have one chat where I'll have all the people that want to order something. So it makes it way easier for me.
What can they get from you, man? And where can they go to get it from? Like, what's the name of the
It's
website?
uh, it's fedorgorst.com. It's really easy, really simple. Right now, I only put up cue balls and paintings, I think, but I'll have some signed jerseys, pictures. I also plan to have diagrams with all the drills that I know there. That'll be pretty cool, I think, to have like a special page with all the diagrams that players can go and look what they can practice and maybe attach the video, how it can be done. I think it will be cool. Maybe something else, that's I'm still trying to figure out what will be the best thing to put out there.
The last time we had you on, I was asking you about your practice schedule, and you said here in the States, I really don't get none. What's it like now that you kind of got a home base and you've gotten settled? What's your practice routine like these days, man?
I mean, it's kind of a perfect setup for me here because Jason has a gym in his house. Alan is building a big gym in his house too, and they have a barn with two pool tables now. We just recently moved the bar table there, so we have a bar table and a big table with tight pockets. So I think it's like a pool player dream to live here. And I was kind of lazy, I'll be honest, the last 2, 3 weeks with practicing. I was playing more and not really practicing. But whenever I'll have a chance here, that's a perfect setup for me to practice and prepare for a tournament.
It sounds like it's paying off already, man. Let's talk about something I seen on Alan's page recently, and that was a mention on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he mentioned you specifically, man. Did you get to see that?
Yeah, he actually mentioned me twice. So what happened was there was a guy coming to Jason's house, and he showed me that I was on the podcast first. I didn't believe it, so he showed me this where Joe Rogan was talking about the Russian athletes ban and that he knows who I am. That's already impressive to me. So I decided to go to Joe Rogan's Instagram page, and I found out that he subscribed on me already. So I subscribed on him back. I sent him a message telling him that I heard my name on your podcast. That's really cool. I didn't know you know me. And he replied
Nice.
saying something like, "Oh yeah, of course I know you. Wishing you good luck with your stay in U.S." or something like this. And I replied to him saying, "I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be watching UFC." And he didn't reply, but still, it's really cool. And then a day later, he mentioned my name in the podcast again. So
That's pretty phenomenal. I wish the circumstances were a little bit different though, but that's still great to go and see like a mainstream podcast like that, going and mention pool and
well, yeah,
in whatever capacity. And I like your humbleness there because you say even a guy like me, I mean, there's a lot of people, Federer, who would put you as the best pool player on earth right now in a lot of games. Of course, the obvious when you're going to talk about one pocket and the Alex and Tony and Dennis's, but when you talk about all around pool players, your name is mentioned as the best.
yeah. I mean, it may be true, it may be not. I don't really care or worry about it as of right now. But still, it's really impressive to know that Joe Rogan knows who I am.
I'd say so. Let's talk about the circumstances just a little bit, Federer. And I remember we had Emily on a little unexpectedly last time, me and Pinozo. And one of the things that she brought up was maybe, and she didn't get into much detail, but that she had spoken with you and trying to figure out a way to maybe get you back on the main stages. I know we've seen in other sports like tennis where Russian and Belarusian athletes are being allowed to go and play.
Mhm.
Wimbledon just recently, um, amongst others. But what, if any, insight can you go and shed on that?
Well, basically, it was a really short phone call with her. Basically, what she told me, she is really trying hard to get me back to Metro events, and it's different in every country because every country has their own laws,
Right,
and she needs to talk and speak with every uh, how do you call it, sport department of each country,
right.
and we'll see what's gonna happen. I mean, we never really chat or talk after it, but I'm not.
How
I told her. Well, the thing with me right now, I'm trying to get a working visa here in the United States, and because I'm doing this, I can't really leave the country. I can, but it's gonna cause me more problems. So even if they're gonna allow me to play in the next Metro event in Germany, I wouldn't be able to go. That's what I told her because I'm trying to get documents here.
I think that's understandable. I mean, and you're going about it, responsibly, which is great. What does that mean to you, just knowing that, she's going to bat for you, and that they haven't, forgotten about you, for lack of a better word?
Well, I mean, that's really a good news for me and for Christine and for the other Russian athletes that are pool players that are probably stuck right now in Russia practicing, not knowing what's going to happen in the next month, 2, 3, or a year. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Right.
But I mean, it's really a little bit of progression to where that will allow us to play.
You've had a lot of success this year and have done well for yourself, which is great. But I know you a little bit, and you had Mosconi Cup aspirations, Feder. What going through all this? What has this been like for you? Kind of dealing with the last few months, and on a personal level and a professional level.
What about Mosconi Cup this
Well, I
year?
mean, just like going through the BS of it. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, honestly, I'm just a happy human being. I don't really get
like
sad or mad about other stuff. I mean, I won the world nine ball championship, and then COVID happened,
right.
and I wasn't really sad. I mean, I was for a month, but then you have to accept it and work, practice, and get ready to. I mean, it's not like I can't play pool at all. I still can, and I do here. So I'm kind of lucky to where our other Russians or Belarusians they are stuck in the country. They can't play anything. I'm just a lucky guy that I'm here. I'm trying to get 100% of any possibility or situation in life uh, in order to succeed, right?
Can we expect you at the U.S. Open?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I love it,
I
man.
think I mean I think you can, but I hope you can. But if you can, you'll see me on $7,500 set at the bar table tournament in Indianapolis, bro.
I love that way of thinking, man. I love the optimism. It's phenomenal. I mean, I got to tell you, like in it, I know a lot of it's because of your success, but just having that attitude is great, man. It really is. I can totally see you getting down about it. But you've had successes on the table that have afforded you the ability to go and still, live out your dream as much as that can be given the circumstance and the situation. Um, I had a guy on from the WPA. We talked a little bit with him. I got plans to have Shane Tyree on as well. He's over at the World Games, and there was talks about them reconvening and talking about that situation again. So we're hoping for good news with you, man. You got a lot of fans, and myself included. And we like seeing you play
thank you,
pool.
Mike. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that'll be a big week. I think they have to make some announcement after World Games. Either they keep the ban or they lift it. Let's hope that they lift it, but I mean, I didn't hear anything yet as of now.
Well, it'll start in a few days. We're hoping to have him on, and he was pretty open that a lot of topics are going to be on the table to go and discuss, and one of them being yours, and any little bit we can as far as making sure y'all story doesn't get forgotten, man. Like we all see, we get to see you a lot, and we're lucky. But like I said, there's a lot of other players who aren't able to go and play pool right now, and it's a collective. You
Yeah.
guys are living out your dream, and we're all rooting for you. What other action matches besides maybe this chip matchup coming up can we go and expect? Are you working on anything? If Has anyone else kind of hit you up?
I mean, I'm trying to play almost anybody, any game in anybody. I mean, we're open to match up always, but I'm not really as aggressive barking on Facebook anymore as I was a year ago, maybe.
What about like a bar table matchup? Maybe with maybe like a Sky type player.
Skylar,
Yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. All right.
that's what
I
we got you
try to
here
play,
for, man.
and I try to play Skylar. Make him
On
play. I'll play.
on the bar table.
Yeah.
What bar table 10 ball? I'm assuming, right?
Symbol, yeah, but with Skylar, it will be, I'm gonna say, all right, I agreed to play on a bar table, which is already that's what you want, right? You don't want to play on a 9 footer. I'll tell him, I want to use the magic rack because you want all the balls to be frozen. You don't want me to be all do all this shit with the one ball.
Right.
He'll say he'll say no, we're gonna play with outswill rack, and I mean it's gonna go over and over and over that you have to agree to every single rule in the end. which he will say that he has to agree to every rule that I make, but that's the only rule I made to play with the Magic Card. So
Well, I think I think fans would like to go and see it. You know,
I would like to play. Yeah, I hope
it
it
ha-
happens someday.
yeah, and I think it's gambling. You know, on the bar table, we all know Sky's
Oh,
a phenomenal bar table player, if not the best player on
whenever
earth.
whenever Skylar plays bar table, it's gambling. It doesn't matter who he plays.
Well, I'm liking it, man. What are your upcoming plans besides these action matches? Where are you heading to next, man?
Oh, a lot of tournaments. We're leaving to Des Moines, Iowa tomorrow to play the Big Dogs tournament for a couple of days, 5 days, I think. Then driving from there to. I actually bought a car,
Did you now? Oh, you're hitting the
but I
road.
I
Are
I
you
can't
legal?
drive it.
Are you? Do you have a license?
No.
Who's the worst driver between you and Christina?
Oh my God. I'll say me,
She's
but
not
that's
watching. Don't
maybe
worry
not
about
true. Okay,
it. What's
then not me.
that? I love it, man. I love it. What's it like kind of having your how hard is it to go and stay disciplined? Like, 'cause I know you like to go and train. You're there at the J Diddy gym down there in the dungeon. How hard is it to go and stay focused and eat right when you're on the road and grind in the way you do?
Honestly, it's really hard to eat right in the United States. Doesn't matter where you are. It everywhere you go, it's like 1,000 calories a meal, and you can only pick between 1,000 or 1,200 calories. So
Welcome to
you have to
USA.
cook. Yeah, you have to cook by yourself, which makes it a little bit tougher, especially when you're on the road. You have to stay in hotels that has kitchen, or you have to go and rent Airbnb that has kitchen. And that's what we're gonna try this trip. This trip will be really long. From Des Moines, we'll go to Peoria. From Peoria, we'll go to St. Louis. From St. Louis to Sacramento. From Sacramento to Wichita Falls. From Wichita Falls to Minneapolis, and back
All over
to
the
St.
place.
Yeah, back to St. Louis, back to the farm here, and then off to Texas Open in Austin, and then Colorado. So it will be a long, long trip.
If fans want to go and get an autograph from you or get a lesson, are they able to? I know Christina does
Autograph,
lessons.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
She does lessons, but I don't. I stopped giving lessons probably after COVID time. I just don't really have focus and motivation and time to do all that.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time this evening. I won't keep you because I know you told me you got to hit the road in the morning. But real quick, I'm going to put you on the spot. So let's say fast forward after the chip match. Let's say you go and beat them by some way, somehow. Who's
Uh-huh.
next?
After cheap,
Yeah.
filler.
I like
Oh
it,
no
man.
no 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 no
I'll
no!
say Tony
Justin
might have
Hall.
something to go and say about that.
Justin Hall.
Oh man, come on. Hey, well, Justin was saying he wanted to go and play, but I don't think he wants any
I
part of
know.
you, and
I know.
rightfully so.
No, no, he doesn't really want to play. It's a tough question. After Chip, who else can I play? Tony, Alex, Dennis. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
Well, you may kind of force your hand depending on what happens when you play against Chip because there's not going to
I
be
agree.
a whole lot of options above you, and Dennis ain't around. So, in a lot of people's eyes, that may go and leave like an Alex or a Tony. Allen saying Evan and Josh. That's it'd be tough. Josh playing some great one pocket, but
Oh,
um,
that's actually right. Josh Roberts and Roberto, both of them, they're kind of cheap speed, maybe close, really close to them. Evan Lunda too.
well, I'm just gonna say all right, man, and we'll leave it at that. Feder, I appreciate your time, man. Wish you all the success in the world. Safe travels, man, for you and Christina, and yeah, hopefully we'll be following up, and we wish you good news in the coming weeks, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. Thank
All
you.
right, you guys. We'll